Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all, and many thanks to Mr. Emanuele Grimaldi for accepting to chair the 10th Mare Forum here again in beautiful Rome. My special thanks also to Giuseppe Bottiglieri, who has been from the very beginning, 10 years ago, a great and continuous supporter of Mare Forum, and to Salerno, who supports Mare Forum not only here in Italy, but also all around the globe in our interesting shipping conferences in Asia, North and South America, Dubai and Europe. Also, I would like to thank Mrs. Kayales and Stefano Penko for their ABS support and participation for the last 10 years here in Italy and all important maritime places in the world. A special thank also goes to Fabrizio Vettosi and Maurizio D'Amico for their good advices and continuous support. Fabrizio and Massimo, thank you very much for the very nice speakers dinner yesterday evening. Many thanks also to Lloyd's Register and all our sponsors for their valuable support making our conferences possible. And a very, very special thank to all great speakers, panelists and moderators presented today. Finally, I thank all the participants from Italy and from abroad, from Italy and from all maritime nations who are attending and contributing to this 10th Mare Forum in Italy. We can talk plenty about the great memories we have from the past 9 Mare Forums in Italy, in particular when the shipping market developments were high to the limits and down to the bottom. All of us have felt the consequences and have learned the lessons that needed to be remembered for the future. With trust simply returning to our industries, we now need to focus on the renaissance of shipping in all its aspects and design the most prosperous future for our great industry. Unlike last year, a great number of participants has gathered here today, again as part of the principle. Leading Italian and international ship owners, CEOs from shipping, trading and brokerage companies, investors in shipping, bankers, consultants and entrepreneurs, classification societies and journalists will all take an active part at this conference today. What next? What is next in geopolitics, the world economy, commodities and trade? Is optimism in the air? Is it trust back? Are we in the process of renaissance of the shipping markets, the European economy and the global trade? What's next on ship finance? Where are the sources of finance? Where will the money come from, and where will wise investors be putting it? What kind of ship is needed for the future? What has sense and what is nonsense on eco-ships and environmental regulations? What are the real innovations in shipping? What are the next trends of the Italian maritime cluster in the next 10 to 20 years? What is it and what has to be done? Have your questions, comments and answers ready. The audience participants are asked to participate actively too. Just to inform the new guests and remind the old, the Mare Forum formula is to stimulate discussion, provide constructive dialogue and exchange ideas and visions about the future of our shipping industry. Last but not least, thank you for coming and your attention, and I wish all of you a very pleasant day, full of debate and good contacts. Now I would like to give the floor to our conference chairman, Mr. Emanuele Grimaldi. Mr. Grimaldi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to all of you. And a special thanks to Jannis Kostoulas for this very successful event and for the great attendance of today. For supporting and organizing this big event, which will open up for us the possibility to have a privileged insight of both the Italian and international shipping community. Mare Forum celebrates this year its 10th edition. Maritime sector has millennium years of history, but every year still reserves news and sometimes surprise for the stakeholders, with a continuous need for update and forecast in the next phase. As in previous years, we will have a chance to go through this useful exercise with shipowners, charterers, forwarders, brokers, shipyard, classification society, banks, and regulators. The conference will articulate in 5 sections. Session 1, it give the name to all the conference, and is named the Renaissance. Renaissance in Italian means new birth. Some indicators are hinting already now of a recovery, fueled by the rise of China's domestic demand, as well as the increased intra-Asian and South-South trade during the last 3 years. International seaborne trade has been growing yearly over 4%, nearly doubling the performance of the world economy. Whilst oil prices and operating costs seem to have stabilized more, slight improvement during 2013 of some important trade indexes, as the Baltic Dry, after the hard bottom hit at the end of 2012, are positive signs. But the good news comes with the known challenges. First of all, the quest for balance in the industry plagued by over-tonnage, with a growth of 78% of the deadweight tonnage supplied in the last 10 years, including the container and the bulk sector, more than doubling their offers. Delivery tonnage growth rates seem to have peaked in 2012, and for the first time after 2001 closing an historical cycle boom, but the situation still has to be handled with care. The big changes ahead do not undermine our optimism, as challenges often turn into opportunities for many players. This brings us directly to the second session theme, named Restoring Trust. Trust can fuel the economy, and we are witnessing the raising trust of investors in the EU to public finance first, and then the positive outlook of the EU consumers and producers in the future of their economies can mark a starting point for bouncing back crisis trends in our continent. On the other hand, trust is not always there. 2014 is the year where mistrust at the political level fired the Ukrainian world crisis. At economical level, mistrust brought winds of protectionism amongst biggest world economies. Mistrust and need for tighter control among financial players, but also the stricter Basel III rules, regulation, and consequent planned shortage in finance with domino effects on trade and economies. Shipping community is not stranger to this trust logic. Shippers and banks have to trust shipowners. Shipowners have to trust the shipbuilders and vice versa. States and citizens have to trust all the maritime sector, whilst the maritime sector rely on legislators for working out reasonable and effective regulation on several topics like environmental boundaries, taxation, anti-piracy measures. For example, during the first quarter of 2014, Piracy Acts hit the record low of the last 6 years, which speaks better than words on how the international maritime community is cooperating for succeeding in this urgent task. A certain number of successful histories in shipping became real thanks to the fruitful vertical cooperation and trust among the links of the maritime supply chain, or horizontal alliances, increasing the level of service whilst maintaining rivalry and competition. Creating this trust and cooperation among players is something that this kind of conference is contributing and can contribute to. One of the main domains where cooperation among big players can make the difference today is innovation. In this sense, Section 3 will focus on looking ahead. New ships, new fuel, innovation. 2014 will most probably be remembered also as the year of big consolidation in the container market, with 3 of the 4 mega carriers alliances canvassing and controlling a big part of world container trade. if the proposed consolidation will become effective, these changes will bring a true innovation in the service with daily services of 18,000 TEU box ships from China to the biggest world port. This change wouldn't have been possible without naval gigantism and technology. Same type of dynamism is seen in the cruise sector with ship launch with capacity over 5,000 parts. The road sector with ships over 4,000 linear meters. Technology turns the page of the industry history, but changes are not all about science. Green regulation imposed by state and international organizations are compelling shipbuilding retrofit and propulsion technology to innovate, pulling the strings sometimes even to the very sustainable level. 2014 will be, for example, the year where all North European operators will have to get fit for 2015 IMO rule on low sulfur fuels. Historical data about the price differential among all the new bunkers is about 200-300 euros per ton. How this will shape the future Nordic maritime transport market? Who will be the winner? Are there valid options available? All good topics for this distinguished assembly. Again, the choice of technology seems to be the driver of the success. For sure, updating, cooperating, and innovating are the key words in today's maritime world. But what about finance? Section 4, it's about investment and finance. When economy is running well, money normally follows the reliability and economic performance of the operator. When a price spikes, and for many operators cash flow doesn't necessarily investments or even their operative needs, the money becomes all of a sudden more vital and more complicated. To which extent money comes to the deserved being ordered, and to which extent instead they help inefficient company in order not to let them down. To which extent the capital market is open and transparent, and to which extent banks or national institutions back only their national industrial champions, like explicitly seems to happen in the case of China. Can state or banks continue saving failing shipyards and in-debt shipping companies forever in a growing context of scarce liquidity, or do they accept to bail them out and move them? Will they sell them out? Can private equity funds have a role in expectations, alliance, technology and finance? Can shape a successful maritime cluster? With this coordinate, we will be given the opportunity to analyze the complete case of it. As Section 5 concentrates on the future of the Italian maritime cluster. Challenges in the future of the Italian maritime cluster are mostly the same as for the other national shipping industry around the world, considering the interdependent, multinational and globalized nature of our business. In an era of extreme competitiveness, though the detail can make the difference, our system has to maintain fit, young and lean to compete, which apparently is happening. A recent report of the Italian Union of Chamber of Commerce tells that the big contribution of the Italian blue economy to his home country is somewhat as a bright spot in the bleak economic outlook of our country. Despite during the last 5 years Italy plunged into a double-dip recession, the so-called blue economy, featuring coastal, maritime and touristic cluster, has shown a vitality increasing its occupation by 3.1% against the -2.9% recorded by the rest of the national economy, and improved the number of companies by 2% against the -0.9% of the rest of the economy. According to this authoritative source, the Italian blue economy inside, whom shipping sector is core, contributed for over 8.5% or 118 billion to the national GDP, financing national transport, export competitiveness, educational system, know-how, taxes, and jobs. The shipping sector alone during the last 5 years of crisis could report a growth in production by 15.8% and a high multiple effect on economy in absolute terms and superior to all other coastal activity. Thanks also to the Italian International Register, Italy ranks as fourth among the EU shipping industry in terms of employees, and in 2013 there were just over 2,500 cadets training aboard our ships, the higher number on record. Thanks to its good shape, international studies report that the Italian shipping industry is also, in direct and indirect terms, the third best contributor in the European shipping sector to the whole country tax budget. Thank you very much for the attention, and I wish you a good job and discussion.